All right, that is it for me. I was Critique Course, and I was your host for the last 2 runs of Corathon. Up next, we have a new host, Zin. Take it away whenever you are ready.
It looks like I am ready. Thank you so much for that. Once again, that was Critique Courts. Please give them a hand in chat. Every volunteer that's helping with this wonderful cause deserves all of the thanks in the world, and I hope you all can help me share that thanks. Seriously, people behind the scenes don't always get the appreciation that they deserve, and I want to be sure that that is shared, because we are all here raising money for our friend Cora for a great cause, getting them the heck out of Texas. That anti-trans legislation is unacceptable, it is ridiculous, and it's not fun in any fashion to feel unsafe being who you are or where you are. So we want to make sure Cora gets somewhere where they can be comfortable to express how they feel, how they think, how they exist. That's what we're here to do. I'm going to refresh my GoFundMe. I'm seeing we have passed $4,000. Let's go, team. I love coming back to that. I've been busy for a couple hours since a shift I was helping out earlier behind the scenes. Look at that refresh. We passed $4,000. And at that, we're at 98 donations. 2 more. And we hit another milestone. 2 more donations. We reach 100. That is incredible. The generosity that I am seeing right now. In this day and yesterday, you are all fantastic human beings. I'm very thankful for being here with you all. Hi, Teacher. I see you. I'm very thankful to share in this whole event, see all these fantastic games, work with so many fantastic people, follow along with so many fantastic speedruns. Oh, this community, I can't keep up sometimes. I'm so glad to be surrounded by so many amazing people because it makes me want to continue being better. Whew, all right, Breath. Next up, we got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've had the chance to host for Player 5 once prior, this past AGDQ. I see the he, him pronouns. Thank you so much, Restreet team. Let's go. I got to host for Player 5 this past AGDQ, so I'm getting a run back right now. You don't know how excited I am. And then my shift will be concluding with that Metroid Dread run, so I'm going to be on for those 2. And then I'll be handing it off for the end there. We will be in the wonderful voice of Happy by 3 hosting for that final run of Corathon. So I hope you're looking forward to them. I also want to refresh my incentive tracker here to make sure got the right information. We had a file named Bid War for Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. You love to see it. We already met the boss rush for Metroid Dread, which means we have a singular incentive remaining. Somebody wants to type in ! Incentives. Be a homie. There is one incentive remaining. It is a Bid War, and it is for The World Ends With You Final Remix, the final game of the marathon. You get to pick the soundtrack, whether it's the original or the remix. And let me tell you, World Ends With You Final Remix, The World Ends With You, banger soundtrack. One of my... Thank you, Blonde. Let's go. One of my favorite parts, totally unrelated game, one of my favorite parts of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is that I get to swap back and forth between the soundtracks all the time. It is a channel points redemption I put on for quite a while I was playing through Definitive Edition again. I love getting to listen to both. So if you've ever listened to the World Ends With You soundtrack, if you haven't, definitely go do it. You can pick the original or the remix. When you donate, as we are not using Tiltify, make sure in your donation comment on GoFundMe or Venmo or even here on Twitch, let us know what you're voting for. It's, for lack of a better way to word, it's free with your donation. Let us know, influence the last bits of the marathon here. Let your voice be heard in more ways than just helping a fantastic person that we call Cora. Wow, I can't believe it's Tui soundtrack is entirely bangers. Thank you. I'm really glad someone can confirm for me. I really appreciate that. I got introduced to World Ends With You from some college friends when we were playing through Kingdom Hearts games leading up to the third game's release, which then again, that game ended up not coming out until after I graduated, which was even better. I think it was when they released, what was it, 0.2 maybe? I think is when we were going through all that, and then they introduced me to The World Ends With You, and now we're in 2023, and I don't know where the time goes, if I'm completely honest, so... Whew. Chat, let's talk a little bit more because I'm in that talkative mood. Did you have a favorite run from Corathon thus far? Is there any new games you were introduced to that you were super excited about? Maybe any runners that you were super hyped for? I was a big fan of getting to be a part of Ruby's Shadow of the Colossus run. I'd been looking forward to it for quite a while. I got to watch SSX Tricky being run by Junior again, like the second time in a week or two. Incredible timing. That swap in of Liminal Ranger with Osmoran last night was pretty fantastic, not gonna deny. And then we still brought it back with Alice running Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus to end night one. That was very exciting to see. I was originally going to be hosting for them, and I was really worried we wouldn't get a chance to see Sly Cooper, but we ended up getting to in the end. So, while y'all have some time, please let me know about those runs, your favorite runs and runners and such. But now, it looks like we're ready for Breath of the Wild, any percent being run by Player 5. My friend, the floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Player 5, and I'll be running Breath of the Wild any percent. So, to start off, this run is basically broken down into two halves. Just start the game. And so timing will start when we gain control of Link. This is because this first cutscene is actually, like, the loading time is inconsistent. So you can preload it if you open up a game, start it, and then return to title screen. And so to remove that, you have to start the timer from when you gain control of Link. But yeah, the game is split into like two parts. You've got the Great Plateau. This is the tutorial section of the game. There is currently no way to skip it. Even though Breath of the Wild is a very broken game, lots of crazy glitches, we have yet to find the Holy Grail plateau skip. And so you need to complete the 4 shrines and then go get the glider from the old man in Temple of Time. So time will be starting there. And yeah. Then after that, you can go straight to Ganon in Hyrule Castle. And that's any percent. So it's pretty exciting. And so you'll notice here, my game is actually in French. That's because the cutscenes are slightly faster in French, for any percent specifically. Other categories will have a different fastest language. For example, Italian is fastest for old dungeons. Okay, right there is the first trick in the run. It's called a scope clip. And so, you know, like the name implies, we use the scope feature of the Sheikah Slate to flip through the wall. And this is nice for a couple of reasons. Oh, ran out of stamina. One, it skips like the super long intro cutscenes that normally play, so it, you know, saves time there. But then it also prevents the time of day cycle from starting. And so for an any percent speedrun, the game will be stuck at 5:15 a.m. Let me just go back here and grab some of these peppers. I forgot to grab them on the way to the pot lid, but that's just for backup food, in case I mess up. But yeah, the beginning of the run is gonna have a ton of stuff happening. Essentially, Bombs is the first shrine we go to, and it has basically everything. All of the tricks that we use for the rest of the run. And so I will probably not be able to explain everything as it happens, and we'll get to it in like the next few splits. Okay, so right here, this is gonna be a BLSS. So a bow lift smuggle slide. Crazy glitch lets us fly like infinitely. And it completely changed Breath of the Wild speedrunning, like every single category. Because it's super fast, doesn't really require anything except a shield, bow, and an object you can pick up. And so one of the reasons we actually go to bombs first is because bombs allow us to BLSS anywhere. You can use a bomb as the object you want to pick up. And then bombs also give us access to a glitch called wind bombs. You may have seen it before if you've seen any sort of Breath of the Wild speedrunning or clips of Breath of the Wild. Essentially, you can drop 2 bombs in bullet time so that the first bomb will launch the second bomb into you, launching Link. That'll be right here. That's good. And just like that, right to the end of the first shrine. But yeah, it's like, you saw shield clipping. So I've clipped through walls a couple of times now with 2 different methods. There's the scope clip at the beginning, and then there's shield clipping, which we use to get into every shrine. And so normally the game wants you to activate the tower first, right? The shrines are dormant at the beginning. You have no way in without activating the tower on the Great Plateau. But because, this game is very broken, we can just clip through the walls and make it to the elevator inside. And so that skips, getting the tower, which has a huge cutscene associated with it. And so that's why we do that. It also lets us go straight to the bomb shrine instead of having to go to tower first. Right here, you'll see me scanning amiibos. Yeah, I'll actually pick this up, just in case. And so, in Breath of the Wild, amiibos can be used to give you items. This makes the 90% speedrun around 40 seconds faster, because you can spawn in attack up ingredients or an attack up meal. And so if you cook a level 3 attack up meal, it gives you a 1.5 times multiplier on your damage. And because we're going like straight to the end, the final bosses, the 1.5 times multiplier is very useful. Because not only do you deal more damage, but with the durability system in this game, the more damage you can deal per hit, the fewer weapons you have to pick up. Okay, so we're grabbing the Magnesis rune. Most of the other runes, besides bombs, are fairly useless. We just pick them up because you need to progress the game. If you were to make your way to the end of a shrine without picking it up, then the monk will just tell you to go pick up the rune. So there's really no escaping it at the moment. That should be good. But yeah, as you can see, we basically just win bomb for all of the shrines. And that's one of the reasons bombs first is, good for the shrine ordering. But that was a pretty recent change. because BLSS wasn't discovered until pretty recently, in the last year or year and a half, I think. And so it gave us a fast enough way to move between the shrines to make it worth it.
I always love the thought that Link can just take a bomb perfectly fine. And when he crashes down, he's fine too. The mechanics, the physics, everything about Breath of the Wild is just so funny to me. I've been really afraid to chime in because I know how intense the start is, but if we do have a moment here, I do have an update.
Oh.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
With some donations that have just started flooding in, I saw 3 immediately there. We have actually passed over $4,200 now. We're up to $4,250. And one of those was a $25 donation from MC Reed with the message, Cora, I'm sending love and wish you luck in your new home. I hope you can feel safe and have the freedom to be yourself with this new start. And then we also got a $50 donation from Justine and a $25 from Jeffrey. No message for either of those, but thank you all so much for your generosity. This total keeps climbing, and it's going fast, and it means a ton. Thank you all.
All right, so on to the third shrine. Again, stasis isn't really used. It's mostly just bombs. But we do use stasis like 2 times in the run, I think. And mag, I think we used 2 times as well. So really, the useless rune is cryo. Literally never gets used in a 90% speedrun.
That was my favorite rune in casual. The amount of times where I would just run over a lake and just cryo constantly. It was a fun little mini game to me. It's so funny that it doesn't get like touched at all in the speedrun. Not surprising, just funny.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on SRC here, and I see that you actually just took first place, assumedly again, about 9 days ago there. How's it feel to be playing a game that's so competitive with its top spots?
Well, I actually literally beat my record like last night as well. And so that one's fresh off the press, hasn't been verified yet.
That's awesome to hear, man.
But yeah, it's a fun game, what can I say? There's a reason I've been playing for like 3 years now. And there's actually a lot of competition now. It's like lots of if you look, you know, you got like Koroks now has a 2356 and is very capable of faster times than that as well. And you know, Trevor also putting up some very fast times. So it's pretty exciting right now for Breath of the Wild speedrunning.
Yeah, the top 3 spots, you're all within 20 seconds of each other, even less than that. That's really incredible to see. And all of them are from this, like, within 1 month's time, which is really awesome to see. Like, we're in some capacity coming to the end of Breath of the Wild as Tears of the Kingdom is coming out, but the speedrunning scene clearly is still picking up, and I love seeing that. Breath of the Wild is such a beautiful game.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a lot of hype for Tears of the Kingdom, and part of that is, you know, trying to get that last run in before we kind of move on to Tears of the Kingdom for a bit.
Do you think that even if Tears of the Kingdom turns out to be like a great speedrun game, do you think you'll still be coming back to Breath of the Wild for speedruns pretty frequently, or?
I think I won't drop Breath of the Wild. I'm pretty sure they're going to be different games for speedruns. I imagine they'll patch a lot of the glitches that make Breath of the Wild speedrunning so unique. And so it'll have its own set of glitches to use, which will make it, you know, different. And thinking about like I mean, people still speedrun like OOT and MM. So just because it's a sequel doesn't mean it'll obsolete the game as a speedrun. Okay, so we now have all 4 runes. In just around like 11 or 12 minutes, I think. That's when you collect the 4th one. And so with all of that, we can head over to the Temple of Time, where the old man will give us the paraglider, finally. And so the reason you can't leave Plateau without the glider is just because they decided to code the game in a way that prevents you from leaving. Like, if you tried, then it'll just void you out and put you back at the Shrine of Resurrection. And there it is, paraglider. So, oh, that was pretty clean. But now it's time to go to Castle. And so this part of the run, I think, is, you know, the coolest part, personally. But essentially what we're trying to... let's calm down, Boko. Okay, that was a little off script. I was not supposed to mess up picking up the bomb. But yeah, with BLSS, you know, we go straight to Castle, and then it's just trying to pick up as many, or I guess it's actually as few, strong weapons as we can to be able to kill not only Calamity Ganon, but also the Blights. And this is something that, you know, a lot of players won't encounter because you don't just rush to the end. But if you don't kill the Blights in the Divine Beasts, they actually show up in Castle to make the fight a lot harder. So you have to kill, like, all 4 Blights, and then Calamity, and then Dark Beast at the end. And it's like, for Blights and Calamity, if you die at all, it'll put you at the beginning of the fights. So it's, like, pretty unforgiving. So yeah, right here, we entered this part of Castle because it's got access to the Royal Claymore, the Royal Guard's Claymore, and this one's super powerful. As well as... I probably didn't need this. Some ancient arrows, which we'll get from this chest over here. There was actually a castle reroute a few years ago that gave us this route, and what it did was it removed a lot of the RNG from the second half of the run. We used to rely on some arrow crates to give us enough arrows to, like, continuously shoot Calamity, but if you use ancient arrows, they're really strong, and so that plus the, like, more powerful weapons we can pick up on this route allows us to entirely skip those RNG arrows. We can just rely on the ones we pick up on Plateau, plus a 5-pack over here by this Moblin. And I just totally glossed over the fact that I flipped out of bounds. So you take a slightly faster route through Castle. But yeah, that's part of why I think this is the coolest part of the run, because it's got really exciting movement. And it kind of flows better Because on Plateau, you're kind of, go to a shrine, enter it, long loading screen. Into a shrine where you just wind bomb to the end, and then on the exit, there's also a long loading screen. Whereas Castle is like more fluid. You're kind of just moving the whole time. Right here, okay, so this is Windblight Skip. You saw that setup. I was like aiming Link's bow so that I would fire the arrow, enter the cutscene right after, and then that allows me to kill Windblight in one arrow. It freezes the arrow inside of the Blight's like head during the cutscene, and repeatedly gets headshots until it dies, which is really nice because not only is Windblight like the most annoying one to fight, it also reduces the number of weapons we need.
Is it safe to assume that Windblade is your least favorite then, as it's the most annoying?
Yeah.
What's your most favorite? Yeah, which one Blades is your favorite? Is it because they're the easiest to fight?
Yeah, my favorite would probably be... In any percent, I think my favorite is gonna be Thunderblight, actually.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds,
It's a pick.
Thunderblight is actually pretty consistent, I would say, in this run. Like, Blights has a lot of small things that can go, like, wrong if the Blight, like, takes a bit longer to attack. Thunderblight's pretty consistent.
Funny enough, you kind of mentioned it, specifically for any percent. So out of the 8 to 13 varying categories of Breath of the Wild you run, is any percent potentially your favorite? Or is there a different one you really like running a lot?
Any percent is definitely my favorite.
Heck yeah.
It's just nice and short. Short, exciting. You just get things done.
There's never a time I've watched an any percent run of this game where I'm not just so intrigued to witness it all happen again and again, especially over the years as it's gotten faster and faster and faster. It's just so incredible. And my only comparison is ever other people I've watched or my lovely casual playthroughs. It's like, yeah, I would love to be able to replicate some of the chaos someday. I can't wait to do it.
That was clean. And yeah, so that was all 4 Blights.
Nice.
Normally you don't have to fight those because you've done the Divine Beasts, but you haven't. So we fight them all, and then here's the big baddie. And if I miss like a laser parry, then I lose like 5 minutes. Not that that's happened to me in a marathon setting or anything.
I mean, it's always perfect for marathon. There's so much hype and love in chat right now. Everyone is just shouting you out for everything you've been doing. Good blight, clean phase 1, instant laser. Let's go.
Yeah, that went really well. And so yeah, with that, Calamity is done, and now it's just Dark Beast, which is kind of a joke. It really is just target practice. The only thing we really do to speed this up is use audio cues in the music to know when the weak points are going to show up, to pre-fire the arrow.
Cette aura le protège de toute attaque.
So yeah, this part, it's just like an auto-scroller.
Je vais contenir son aura
And
maléfique.
not only that, but if you
Je ne
die
pourrai
here,
pas tenir très
you
longtemps.
respawn at the start of
Il te
Dark
faudra
Beast.
viser les points lumineux.
That's like extra forgiving.
Je crois en ta victoire, Link. Attaque-le, vite!
Of course, I missed the pre-fire.
Le pouvoir de Ganon s'affaiblit.
But yeah, it's a very fun run. And it's kind of nice that at the end there's a little, it's like a victory lap.
La lumière, vise les
Never
points
really
lumineux.
thought about it that way. So, like I was kind of like watching the disc was spinning in my head. I've never thought about how
Continue comme ça.
kind of a rewarding fight it can be in the end. Like, yeah, you've done the hard part. Now you just really get to celebrate your victory in the end. Beast Cannon is really difficult. And I was always surprised by that when I initially played through. I was like, wow, look how massive it is. This is so epic. We're just on an open field riding the horse and shooting him with the bow of light. And then, wow, there's actually not that much going on here. But I like your perspective a lot. It is celebratory. I like that. I have a new way of thinking about this.
Maintenant, Link.
Alright, and time
Encore un peu.
is going to come up when the explosion happens when I shoot the last eye,
Link,
Dark Beast's eye.
regarde. Sur sa tête. Maintenant, Link.
There it is. That was a fun run. And I was Breath of the Wild speedrunner.
Huge community show up right now. I'm watching chat just scroll by, all the emotes and GGs. Thank you all for being here. Seriously, I can't believe it went by that fast.
That's a short run.
Every time.
Actually, what was the time?
I see timer did reset, but somebody said time was 24:56. Yep, there it is, 24:56.
Take the sub 25.
That's still a top 10 time, actually. Wow. Alrighty. Well, do you happen to have anybody you'd like to shout out? Where can people find you? All that fun stuff.
Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/player5. If you want to see more Breath of the Wild speedruns, I've been focusing on 80% recently, so just run, but faster. And, shoutouts to all of the Breath of the Wild speedrunning community. It's a really welcoming place, so if you want to try a new speedrun, maybe stop by. And, thank you everyone at Corathon making this happen. It's a really cool event, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Alrighty. Wow. Chad, I love your energy. Thank you all so much for being here. I love seeing this community show up. That's so cool. Wow, 24:56. I can't believe it. Just in the moment, you don't realize how fast it goes, really. But that's still a top 10 time. And the fact that he PB'd yesterday, so his #1 time is already about to get overwritten. I love that. That's exciting as heck. That's that's so cool. Wow. All right. Well, during that, like I mentioned, we got a few more donations in. We did shout them out, but I do want to call it out again. We are currently up to $4,250 total raised and counting, of course, for Cora. That is so fantastic. All the donation messages we've been able to read yesterday and today, the incentives y'all have been putting those towards. Thank you all so much. Gosh, there's just a lot of good vibes going around right now. It's hard not to be very empathetic and just feeling the hype live through you. So for all of you that are just joining, anybody tuning in, if I'm correct, we are on the front page of SRC once again, potentially there. Gonna have to check out on that one real quick. But everyone who is just joining us, we are towards the tail end here of Corathon. What is Corathon? Well, thank you for asking. Corathon is a mutual aid fundraiser, and we are raising money for our friend Cora, a fantastic friend of the community who is looking for a place to move who will accept her for who she is. Due to the anti-trans legislation in the state of Texas, chat, can I get some booze for that? Cora needs help with moving expenses so that she can safely move to a state with LGBTQ+ friendly laws and communities. So we are here putting on this marathon to support and provide for our trans friend in need, and we are very grateful for every donation that you have all been providing to help in that cause. You can type !donate in chat to donate. There is also a singular incentive remaining for the tail end here if you want to type !incentives in chat. Like I said, 1 remaining. I gotta make sure I tab over that properly, because we already met the Metroid Dread incentive. We're not gonna ignore that one. We're gonna look past that one real quick. We're gonna look past that one. There's 1 remaining for our final game of the marathon. We still want to see y'all put some money towards that bid war, and that is for the soundtrack choice, original or remix for The World Ends With You final remix. There's some suggestions there potentially if you're really reading the name. Just a thought. When you donate, because as a reminder, we are not using Tiltify this time. We cannot. When you donate, either through GoFundMe or through Venmo directly, if you want to put in a donation message there or in Twitch chat, let us know, hey, I donated this. I would look to put towards this incentive. We will make sure that all gets assigned properly. So thank you all so much for your generosity to bring us this far. For everyone who's been with us for about 2 days now. It's really incredible to see all this generosity. I'm going to take a quick water break, pet my very attention-needy cat while we get set up in the background here. Whew. And we'll be back for Metroid Dread 100% just after that. Stay tuned, y'all.